Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, usually here with Mike Kelly, but unfortunately, he's not here today. He'll be back tomorrow. And a couple things we want to go over today. It's a light news day, so it won't be long. And as always, when Mike's not here, it's just the facts, and it's just the facts today. The Dow's down about 56 basis points. What are we doing? The rates are a little bit better, about 5 basis points, and the 10-year sitting at 4.1348. Before the Fed did anything, we hit as low as 3.99. So we're coming back because we opened at 4.17. Long story short, the biggest thing is what a lot of people ask me, why did rates kind of go up when the Fed lowered? Well, that's kind of how that works. They do not control short-term. They control short-term rates, not long-term rates. And that's usually what happens. It's the overall economy and what's going on that will drive the longer-term rates down. And let's see what we have today. Big thing we had today was, let's get into inventory. All right, so the national inventory number is at 862,575. That's a negative of 308 houses or condos or any single family thing there is, and so that's going the wrong way. But normally end of the year we don't have as many listings, but we should have more than that. But I think it just has to do with they're waiting for 25 to be so much better than it is. And now people are kind of discouraged. And I think that's kind of how people are feeling. The only reason rates have improved because we really haven't moved much because a September ago, the 10-year was sitting at 3.65 or 68, right around there. And we're sitting at 4.13. The difference is, I talked about this a long time ago. There's always a mortgage spread between the 10-year and the 30-year rate. Typically, that is, I think, usually it's between 1.60 and 1.80%. But we've been as high as 3.10 over the last couple of years. And it has to do with, I was talking about the premium that was built in there a while back of how if I'm going to buy that mortgage-backed security and you potentially are going to refinance in a year or 2 years instead of me keeping for at least 4 years to pay myself back, you're going to have to pay me a premium to buy that loan. And that's what has been going on. However, rates have been getting better because we've seen that spread go down from 3.10 down to about 2.15. So that means if you look at the 10-year rate, that whatever the 10 years at, and what you add to that is usually what the mortgage is. It's an easy way to look at that. So right now, 10 years sitting at 4.13. If everything was exactly only 2%, you'd be at 6.13 for rate. Well, we're about Fannie and Freddie were saying we're closer to 6.5 right now. But again, it all depends on FICO score, loan amount, LTV, everything else that's involved with that. And so you got to be careful. I'm not trying to quote rates. I'm just kind of telling you where they're saying they're at. All right. What else do we have to talk about today? All right. Let me just go over what's coming out this week. So it's really jobs week. We got JOLTS tomorrow. Then we have Case-Shiller FHFA home price index. So besides jobs week, we got home price week. Wednesday is ADP employment mortgage applications. Thursday's initial jobless claims, which is every Thursday. And Friday is the BLS jobs report, if not delayed. They had pending home sales, but it came out today. The pending home sales are already out that I saw. So the reason it could be delayed is if there's a government shutdown. That is the big thing right now that's focused on everything because the government shuts down. We don't know how that's going to work out this time because there's a lot of reasons why they don't want to shut the government down. If Congress can't reach a deal, the shutdown would delay the BLS jobs report, what I just talked about. I don't know when we will know. Anyway, I didn't put it on here. Anyway, so I know I'm all over the place today. Long story short, people are still looking at buying houses. People are still looking at moving up. They're still looking at it. It's just much more difficult for them to make the decision today. So you need to educate them why they want to do it and why they want to not wait. That's the most important thing. And if you're listening to me and you're one of those people, the reason you don't want to wait is because eventually these rates potentially could go down. I'm on the camp right now thinking that rates are going to get worse before they get better. And they're saying, well, how can that be? Because I have a feeling this whole economy is going to take off. And when economy takes off, and then people start getting employed again, they're not going to lower short-term rates. But long-term rates, they'll still do the other. But what they could do is have instead of buying the short-term rates, buy the more mortgage-backed securities, and that would help the market. Anyway, so that's kind of what all I had today. It was a very short day. There's not much to talk about. More news out tomorrow. And again, it's still a great time. Rates, I've been doing this for a long time. These are great rates. The problem was the pandemic where we were at. People thought those were the rates forever. They'll never be that way. The lowest I saw before the pandemic was 3.25. We could potentially get back to that. But that had to do with unemployment and other things. We're not there right now. We're not seeing that. Yes, unemployment's bad, but it's not super bad. We're not at a 8% unemployment rate. We're only, 4.2, I think it was the other 4.02. Anyway, it's 4.2. Sorry, I'll get out here today. It's Monday. All right, that's all I had. I hope I gave you some information that was any good. It's one of those days. But if you have any questions and you want to go over anything, or if you want us to talk about anything on here, just let us know. Reach out to me. You can direct message me anywhere. I'm Ed Parcaut everywhere across social media, except for on my personal Facebook page. All right, make it a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow with a lot more news. Thanks. Have a great day.